Thundergrunt.
Warning! The following program may contain adult or offensive language, excessive drinking, extra lives, heavy nostalgia, dragons, and general dipshittery. Listener discretion is advised.
Holy shit. And welcome to Panama. I mean, welcome to MAGCast. MAGCast official podcast.
Is it?
It is.
Still?
It still, somehow.
How is that
You
possible?
could say it's the official podcast of the Music and Gaming Festival?
I can sort of say that.
Okay.
I've been given authority to say some, if not all of those words.
Okay, cool. Not necessarily in that order, but...
My name is Big Adam. And my God, have we got a show for you.
Have we?
We have prepped nothing.
Oh, dude. We're one man short?
We're
what-
one man
is
short.
Is that different than normal? Like,
This is true. This is all very true. Sitting to my left, MAGCast's very own technical producer and Van Halen aficionado, Mr. Ryan Ryan.
what's up?
How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How you?
I can't wait to talk about beer brewing. But that's for another time. I've been talking about it all night. They're already annoyed about it. It's fine. I'm going to make dog treats and sell 1 million of them because I'm super famous. Sitting on the couch
Well, at least you admit it.
by himself. Well, not actually, because Ashley is here, but she doesn't have a
Wow.
microphone.
Whoa,
Wow,
is this,
you are
dude,
marrying
women
her.
won the right to vote, man. I just...
Sitting with my fiance on the couch, where one Mr. Orvie Thummel is usually sitting. Unfortunately, he had to work late tonight, but Huey, you're here.
I am here.
Huey Heston's
Hi.
here, everyone.
Holy shit!
My God.
I had to break away from Fallout 4, but I'm here.
so excited. Hey, I did the same exact thing.
I have
so
not stopped.
That game.
I wake up. God, just continue.
Did you go to work today?
No, I'm not going to work tomorrow either.
Good Christ. That's why you're so far ahead of me. Sitting next to him, sort of in a weird circular manner, is MAGCast crotchety old man who's actually in a fairly decent mood
Pretty
tonight,
good mood.
Mr. Mike TV.
Hey, and it should be we should mention that we are recording this from Ryan's secret undersea lab off the coast of Panama. So the song title was appropriate.
This is
True.
not Elbs, and we are in Ryan's basement.
In
Yeah.
the sea lab.
Did you miss the
I
sign?
can't
Did you miss the
co-sign
sign
that.
outside? It definitely says Secret
I
Underground Sea
can't
Lab.
co-sign a stolen bit like that. I can't
This
do
is
it.
this is
can't do
where
it.
he does all of his high-end recording so that he can get away from
I wouldn't call this
interference.
high end, Mike.
Anyway, we've got lots of games to talk about. We gave them the intro last week, and now we've all played all the games that we wanted to play.
Boom.
I think. So let's just
a lot of
fucking
games.
knock the big one. Let's just get it over with.
Do it.
Dude, I mean,
Motherfucking
honestly, Assassin's
Fallout
Creed-
4.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed. Jesus. That game is completely unique and has never been done before.
I
Let me
can't-
tell you, that Assassin's Creed IP is really going places.
groundbreaking.
All right, so guys, all joking aside, Hearthstone League of Explorers.
My
Oh
God.
my
Is
God!
that actually out now?
Jesus.
Yeah, it came out Thursday.
Oh,
I love the
shit.
commercial.
I didn't know that. Yeah, the commercial was
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. That was pretty good. Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Holy fucking God. If you don't have it because you're Mike TV and you want to wait the bugs out, play it with bugs because the game is so goddamn
I will
good.
say, to the people who, the bug fearing folk, I've very few.
Well,
Shockingly
no,
few.
but to be fair, you and I are both playing on PS4, and from what I've heard, PS4 is the least buggy of all the builds.
Man,
Because
how
I've heard
times
a-
have changed.
I've heard a lot of people are having problems with PC builds, and I've heard a lot of people are having problems with Xbox Paperweight. I mean, Xbox One
Yeah.
builds.
Why would you even? Oh, sorry, Ryan's here. So
I have a PS4
He has
too.
a PS4 now
That's
as well.
true. Ryan, welcome.
He's completely in the new gen. He's got all three.
welcome to the jungle.
Oh, damn, you're right. Yeah, I do.
My God. Anyway,
We're an elite team.
we are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You are too. I'm not. I can't say we. I can't say we at all because I don't have an Xbox Paperweight. I keep saying that. Xbox One.
I don't know.
You coming to
why.
the meeting next week, Huey? By the way.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay,
dude.
cool.
I'll bake the cookies.
Sweet.
Yeah, they're shaped
Looking
like
forward to
little controllers.
You're not invited, Adam.
Oh, to the new gen trifecta club.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Technically, I don't even own the Wii U that I have. It's MAGFest. It was given to me to unlock things for the event.
Get
And
to
that's
work.
What a
Data
job.
That's what I've been doing. Well, it's a good time. Ashley loves it.
No, it's just
she plays a shit ton of
a
Splatoon.
good
That
deal.
game rules.
people would like that.
Fallout 4. My God. You haven't done much of the main story quest
Dude,
at all.
and somehow I've played more than you and I've done less than you.
Yeah.
It's, my God, the amount of shit to do in this game is absurd.
From what I understand, as far as the main story is concerned, I'm on the second to last quest, and I stopped on purpose. I found out that I was that far, and I was like, I don't want this to end. And I know that it won't end past resolution of whatever the game ending is. I have no clue. I refuse to look it up or any kind of spoiler. I won't even watch streams of it just in case they're farther than I am. But what I have experienced thus far is absolutely incredible. The storyline is amazing. I was on live chat with Huey Sunday night, was it?
Yeah, it was Sunday because you left Sunday.
It was Sunday, and there was a 30-minute period that made it one of the best games to potentially my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes flat, because the storyline took a turn that it needed to take so very desperately. And I don't know if it's because of where I was in the story as a whole, or whether that's just a portion of the main quest, or what combination of events got what happened to happen. But oh my God, when it happened, I lost my mind. Like, it was awesome. I'm being very vague here on purpose. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm thinking, what, did you find out you're a synth?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, I was...
Get with the program!
What? I don't know, but like, okay, from what I've seen of the game, I know you're in the Commonwealth. There's the Institute. There's people from the trailers. There's people who want to get rid of the Institute. Then I'm sure you probably have an opportunity to join the Institute.
Spoiler alert, by the way,
And
people.
then- I don't know if there's
These
spoilers.
are the trailers.
Oh.
These are the
He's
trailers.
going off of like pre-release
Oh, okay,
information.
And then there's probably a group of outcasts, synths, and freaks and whatever that are going
Andre
to try.
3000.
Pardon?
Outcast. Andre 3000 is actually in it.
2000.
2000, that's right.
So it's
And
Big
Big
Boy.
Boy. they're probably fighting back, and I saw because there's a lot of Blade Runner-esque references in.
I don't mean
there
to
from the
interrupt you,
trailer.
but
So I figured you might be.
they
you might
wanted
figure
to
out that
once
you're
again
synth.
apologize to Miss Jackson. Ooh.
Oh,
I like that you
He
put a
was for real.
God.
You Kanye'd into that one.
I did.
no,
So,
I used to listen to that song all the time in college, and now I cannot remember it for like the life of me.
he never meant to make his daughter cry.
Yeah.
He apologized like a shitload of times. I don't remember. It was like a million or a trillion. It was a lot.
I apologize 1,000 times.
Whatever. Anyway.
Hey, yeah.
So,
That's the wrong song.
I know.
Not all hip hop songs are the same. Racist.
I know. That's
sure
the
about
only
that?
song I remember.
Is that even hip? I guess that's hip hop. I guess that's pretty hip hop.
I don't think it's up for a couple of white people in a basement to debate what
That's
hip hop is or isn't.
That's
So,
not wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Ryan on that. Ryan's right.
Yeah.
So continue.
No, just like you see like all the stuff in there that's very like Blade Runner-esque.
Okay.
From like the sense, and then like when they're painting over that one like townscape, and there's like the atomic noodles or whatever it is. There's like a noodle shop or something.
in my
I
head,
know.
I had like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing man.
No, I went Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Okay.
No, there's like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I just see that and I'm just like, well, that's Blade Runner. So we're Blade
Okay.
Runner. So I kind of went. I
There's
assumed they
tons
went
of
with Blade
shout
Runner.
outs.
There is a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It would be
shout outs to
Fallout
a
if it wasn't.
lot of games
Yeah.
in Fallout 4. The writing in this game, in my opinion, is very, very good.
I was just telling him that I wandered in.
I've heard some reviews that say otherwise. So
Well, that's
I'm
because
very-
you pay attention to really, really stickler, dickhead reviews.
Boom, got him.
Hyper cynical people read hyper cynical reviews. That's just the way it is.
You would
Not
like
always.
it.
Tell me that I'm wrong.
Mike, you'll like
Yeah.
it.
I
think you
I
will.
think I probably will like it. but
there's a
I
lot
also
of
know-
jokes that are super subtle that are really funny.
Well, that's good.
Like-
I will also say that I'm waiting because just bought a new house. We're trying to get it painted and get out by the end of the month, and I'm in grad class mode right now. And the last two Fallouts, every Fallout, I get addicted to. I get addicted to super hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I can't afford
played-
to be addicted.
I
to
Why are
played
you going to grad school? You're already in NASA. What are you trying to go for Super NASA?
Yeah.
Dude,
It's out there, man.
He wants to be not only an American astronaut, but he wants to be a Russian cosmonaut as well.
No,
You got to go to
cosmonaut
grad
status,
school.
bro?
No,
You got to go to grad school.
Super
for that.
NASA. All right, NASA is just space.
All
Super NASA is also time.
Oh, okay. You're trying to be some sort of.
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't ready or who don't already know about this, Super Space Kerbal Space Program will be out next fall.
Oh, actually, Super, it still falls way short. You don't have to
It
account
does.
for the time dilation
Look,
sphere.
clicking
You
and
don't have to-
dragging time machines is
Well, I
bullshit
hear-
and spits in the face of science.
This is out of
Is
control.
that
I
actually
hear
a
that
thing?
they've added
No,
depth
not at
to
all.
the
Okay,
space
No.
program, so that's good.
That's not real.
Wouldn't it
I
be-
wasn't sure.
Wouldn't
When did this become a
And here,
podcast of facts?
you know, here I thought you
I don't
guys
know.
were going to dig on me because Kerbal Space Program is coming out for the Wii U. And
Is it?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
You'd be like, oh, Nintendo's got Kerbal Space Program.
No, it doesn't matter to you because it spits in the face of science.
No, dude, this is Mike is
Wouldn't
just
it
like
be NASA
antagonizing
at that
himself
point?
for you.
National Aeronautics,
I'm setting
Space,
myself up.
And time.
It's the Nostaman.
Nasta! You're a Nostafarian.
That sounds like a
Boom.
really shitty off-brand, like Walmart brand soda.
I would drink Nasta Cola.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
that sounds nasty.
Got him.
Damn it!
Anyway, so here's some things that really stand out to me from Fallout that just like the level of immersion is just amazing. So like I went to a town.
We played
and-
like 20 plus hours each this weekend
Yeah,
alone.
it's absurd.
Starting Friday at 7 p.m.
That's it.
Jesus Christ!
No,
Anyway,
like when I go into addiction mode on a game,
That's
will.
it.
That's like.
I actually don't know how much I've played.
You played way more. You played
I
a bit
will
more
hit
than I
the-
did because I had to go away for 3 hours to hang out with Mr. Rymai over here
You poor
to
baby.
bottle up some beer.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry to put you through that.
No, that was awesome. I had a blast. That was a good time. Anyway,
So there's one town I went into, and there's a bank, and you can open the vault door, and you open it up. There's a giant hole in the back, and there's no money in it. And then if you go in the back, there's a car and two skeletons with a ladder. So the bomb fell right when these people were stealing from this bank, and the duffel bag with the money is still there. So those like little stories that you can pick up on, where
That's cute.
yeah, like there's one. I went to a police station just recently, and the police chief, I was telling you about it. The
Yeah.
whole you read his terminal, and his whole backstory is like, I'm tired of these loose cannons. I can't deal with these guys playing by their own rules. It's all stereotypical stuff. And then he says, but at least I retire in 3 days, and I can go write my novel up by the lake. And this happens through 2 days before the bombs fall.
Right.
So it's full of these awesome little weird stereotypical stories that are just like poking fun at stuff like that. And like the place is just incredible. Like just like the minor stuff that you encounter is just
I
awesome.
will tell you that there is a time in the game that "Good Night, Sweet Prince" does come up, and I was laughing very hard when that came up. Nobody just says that. That's clearly an internet reference.
There's
The game is so fucking
Hamlet
good.
reference.
Well, yeah, but the internet uses it daily. Hamlet is not recited daily.
Well, it is if it's
Jesus
used
Christ.
daily.
Yeah, I
on the
think by
internet.
Well, the
definition, it is
internet
kind
calls
of
it a
recited
grand
daily.
slam.
Never mind,
Yeah.
you're right. Hamlet. It's Hamlet.
Slamlet.
It's Slamlet.
Anyway, there's these.
Slamlet.
There are
That sounds
these
like a
towers.
Denny's breakfast.
Oh man,
The Grand Slamlet.
Shakespeare Week at Denny's.
Slamlet.
Get yourself a grand slamlet.
Jeez. Yeah.
The moon's
I'm
over my
still-
Romeo.
Oh, there
One
it
of the items on the dish is poisoned. They won't tell you which one.
There. That's what it is.
Anyway,
There's something rotten in Denny's, Horatio, and that's pretty par for the course.
Jesus Christ. This is
Nerds.
But yeah,
moving on.
that game is great. One thing that really got me that I really like, that a lot of people are into like the settlement build outs and like
Oh, that's
furnishing stuff. That's a whole like microcosm of things to do.
It's like the Sims Fallout
Right.
edition.
One thing that I really like to do is I like to do gun mods. Toying around with all the gun mods because you can mod everything. And then I got into modding power suits, and that's a whole different thing. Modding power suits is awesome.
The fact that power suits are treated like tanks,
Yeah.
and you can just find them.
That is actually interesting, and then they have the power suits being like a much more like scarcer resource. It seems like and you get into them and suddenly like you're just like it's like
There
you're
are
not just-
these basically these fusion cores, and you jam them into the back of the suit that powers it up, and then you get into it, and the fusion core lasts X amount of time. When I've actually never had one run out. I don't know what it does.
I have a couple times. It just takes another one from your inventory.
Okay, so it doesn't even matter. All right.
And if you don't have a fusion core in your inventory and you run out, you're unable to run anymore.
I saw this one thing.
You move super slow.
I saw this thing. It said one of the perks for the science one is that when you run out of a fusion core, it ejects it out the back like a missile and it explodes.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. But anyway,
cool.
like you find them. Like you start out with one pretty early in the game.
Yeah. You get one as a reward for something.
It's like a T-48. It's a T-40, what is it, 5? T-45.
T-45B.
And you get the T-45, which is like the standard infantry one.
Yeah.
And
T-60D, that's the way to go, man.
so then you can find other ones throughout the world that are in various states. Like the arm, they're all different pieces. Like the helmet's a piece, the chest's a piece, both legs and both arms are a piece.
And then the framework is its own
and
piece.
the framework, so you find frames all over the place. Like I found 6, and I've been playing a shitload. You found 5.
Yeah.
And
no, 6. I found 6. You found 7.
I found 7. I have 6 sitting in my
Yeah.
garage. But yeah, and then you can pull parts off of different kinds and make a cobbled together one. There's a what do you call it? A Raider version that's all like weird welded together shit with like a welding mask on the face instead of the regular face. There's the T60, the T50.
I have a T60. I have 2 T60Bs.
I have a T51. I have a T51, 2 T51s, a T45, 3 T45s, and 1 Raider. And but there is
I didn't find the Raider one.
You haven't found that?
No.
It looks cool, but it's not very good. It doesn't have a headlamp because they have welded everything on, so there's no headlamp. When you get in, it actually changes your HUD, and you have a headlamp instead of your Pip-Boy light.
Yeah. Yeah, my 2 T60Bs, one, without spoiling much of anything, you obviously get one from Brotherhood of Steel if you decide to join that faction.
Yeah.
So I have one from them, but I was also able to manufacture one on one of my empty frames.
You can build one?
Yeah.
Where do you build stuff?
You can get
like where do you
power
find
armor parts.
Where do you find them? I haven't found them anywhere.
I bought mine.
Okay, so there's people sell them.
Yes.
Okay.
Are the Brotherhood dicks again?
Kind of. They're
Yeah.
always.
They're
somewhat
I mean they're all
In
they're
three-
they're
in three
hyper
they were
they're
nice.
hyper self-righteous and
Yeah.
they're like they treat their military as a religion.
Yeah.
I have gone as far as I know, as far as you could go into the Brotherhood of Steel without progressing further in the main story. So I've done some crazy shit with the Brotherhood of Steel. I've also joined the Minutemen, which are they're super early faction. Like
Yeah.
you're almost forced to join them in the beginning.
And that's cool because they're like a fine group.
Right. And I've done a lot for the Minutemen, but I haven't finished it because they send you out after you get done all of their like quote unquote main story. They send you out to recruit other encampments. And
been
there's
doing
like 200 encampments in the game. So like
See, that's where the building thing. There's sort of like the framework of the building because you sort of get these little encampments and then you can build up the encampments with all sorts of materials and shit.
and then you can open trade lines between the encampments.
And then you can open shops in the encampments and you can upgrade the shops. It's insane. So and
There's so much
running
shit.
power-
So you're playing Fallout Animal Crossing.
I mean, yeah.
For
I think to be
Falloutville, if you will.
To be fair, it's way more like The Sims, like he had originally said.
It is very much
because you're
like The
like
Sims.
you're like actually like placing furniture and stuff like that.
That's Animal
So you
Crossing.
have to
Well,
decorate
it's also
200
Sims.
establishments.
You don't have to. Like Adam hasn't done it at all.
I haven't
My
done-
base is bonkers. Like I took my home base and made it insane.
Now, which home base?
The sanctuary, the first place you're
okay.
at. It's
I did a lot of build. I did building when I was in our fucking embargo of play. Never doing that again. I built a lot at the gas station, which is where you meet your pup.
yeah.
Dog meat.
Dog.
I'm rolling hard with dog meat. Me and him are tight.
So you haven't done any of these, but there are these like radio towers that like you can activate. This is one of my favorite things. That it's like a new kind of quest, and it's totally optional. You don't even have to do this, but you activate them. These 3 little satellite dishes rise up, and you get access to 3 radio signals. And then you have to use your radio while tuned into each signal to find out, to triangulate where it is based on the static in your radio. And when you finally run out of static, you start looking around on the ground. There's a bunker somewhere. You go down in the bunker, and there's always like a little story. Like the radio is like somebody being like, "Look, we can't get out. There's something crawling on top of us, and it's gonna like it's some sort of evil creepy crawly. You come kill it, and we'll be safe, and we'll give you whatever you want. You go there. It's long since these people are super dead.
Yeah.
And, like,
They've been dead for a real long
yeah.
time.
And so, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they're alive, and it's awesome. It's like this totally optional. And more than once, I'd already cleared the area where they send you back to, and I had no idea there was a bunker there.
Yeah.
They're hidden insanely well, so that unless you sort of know that you're supposed to be looking in this area for something, you won't even look for it.
Big props to world building for that.
It was incredible. And there's like really spooky stuff. Like I genuinely jumped. It scared the shit out of me. With the ghouls. The ghouls are goddamn terrifying.
Yeah, because they move really slow until they get into striking distance, and then they're like insta fast.
They're like, and they like slap you, and they run so fast they fall over. Like it takes them.
Oh yeah,
They have to get back.
They stumble themselves because they move too fast. They can't catch their own feet.
And you just
It's
like,
pretty cool.
And they'll come in through windows and up through holes in the ground and shit, and you're just like, you don't even know they're there, and then suddenly it's like, and they just smack you in the back of the head.
Yep,
That's damn scary.
it is.
I can't say enough about this game. It's absolutely it's such a worthy successor to Fallout in general. It's just it fits perfectly. It's great.
God, it really is. Anyway,
So get it and stop being stupid and waste your life like us.
they'll patch the bugs out, fix your fucking life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
All right.
patch your life.
The next one that we talked about was the new StarCraft expansion, Legacy of the Void. I think the only person to play it so far is Ryan on the show.
Probably because it came out the same day as Fallout.
Oh, that's
and
right. Orvy's been playing.
Yeah, Orvy's been playing it, but he's not here, so I guess I got to cover for both of us. Yeah, Legacy of the Void's pretty cool. Definitely a worthy third entry in the StarCraft 2 trilogy.
Awesome.
Tells a story of the Protoss leg of the StarCraft 2 campaign. Kind of wraps up the loose ends of the story. So they actually have like the main Legacy of the Void campaign, which is like 19 missions. And then they have an epilogue campaign, which is, I don't know how long it is. I've only done like the first mission of it. There's a couple. I think it's like 4 or 5, maybe 3, something like that.
Cool.
But the campaign has been super fun, or was super fun. I beat it the other day. Like I think I've loved the campaigns in StarCraft 2. They've done a really good job making it feel very unique from the multiplayer, because the multiplayer is this very tightly balanced esports experience. And with the single player, it's clear that they've just been given free reign to make cool units that do fun shit. They brought back a lot of units as options from like the old StarCraft games. So the way the unit sort of customization works in this go around is essentially there's 3 or 4 different factions of Protoss, and so throughout the game you'll unlock units from those different factions. So each type of unit in your army, you can choose which of the 3 factions you want to select. So like for example, your basic melee unit, you've got like the normal zealot who's got his charge. I forget what his special ability is.
Isn't that the charge, or does he have something new?
Every unit from like the multiplayer has their normal ability, and then usually either that ability is enhanced or another additional ability on top of it.
Okay.
So I forget what the zealot's thing is. Then there's the centurion, who when they die, once every minute, whenever they die, they just come back to life. And then I forget what it's called, but then there's one that the charge, they stealth for like a second when they charge, and they can charge through units, so they don't get blocked by other units, which is really, really good.
That's cool.
So you can just have them. They don't have to worry about collision. What else? So like there's a Dark Templar variant where when they die, they respawn at the Dark Shrine. So instead of dying, they go back there.
That's super badass.
Like the Colossus.
How did the Protoss ever lose?
Are the Dragoons back in it?
Yeah, the Dragoons are a Stalker option. You can get like
cool.
Stalkers, Dragoons, or a third variant.
So that's how this works. Like, because like, with the other ones, like you'd unlock stuff. Like basically with Jim Raynor, you'd have to choose which mercenary mission you did, and that would in turn unlock.
Oh my god, those missions were so cool.
They were awesome as shit. That
was with Heart of the Swarm. You did the binary choice.
Yeah. Well,
you also did it with Wings of Liberty.
Well, Wings of Liberty, you had like the unit upgrades you could pick. I mean, you still unlock the units through the missions, like you would before, but you still get every unit type, except in this case, it's sort of which of the 3. Each unit type has 3 different variants.
Okay.
And you usually you start with 2, and then you get the third one later on when you discover the third faction.
And you can swap between them.
And you can swap them at any time throughout the campaign. So if you have a mission that is better for a certain thing or another thing,
that's awesome.
Like for the Colossus, one of the alternatives is the Reaver from StarCraft 1.
Holy shit!
What
That's pretty
the
cool.
Oh man,
That's
Reavers!
pretty
Damn.
cool.
Yeah, that one was cool. They brought back the what was the unit that like stealths everything around it or something?
The Arbiter.
That's the one. The Arbiter's
Yes.
back.
Oh man,
A whole bunch of stuff. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I finished my first playthrough. Usually with these, I'll do like a normal playthrough to get the story, a hard playthrough for the achievements, and then a brutal playthrough just for the sake of having beaten it on brutal.
Yeah.
You know something as you've played a lot if you remember the fucking character barks.
Dude, I remember the Arbiter would say Galron, Jacakazo, and those were the only two things he'd say.
Chikakazoa sounds like something that Ace Ventura would say.
Yeah, and then the other sort of progression mechanic that they have is you're commanding the Spear of Adun, which is this giant Protoss like capital ship that you have to get out in the first couple missions, and then that has essentially 6 different subsystems that unlock throughout the course of the game. So that gives you things like it lets you warp in pylons so essentially it has like an energy bar that charges up, and so like you can warp in pylons. You can use like a barrage of laser attacks. Near the end of the campaign, you get the Purifier Beam, which is just like shitload of damage and just follows stuff around for 15 seconds and just annihilates stuff.
So this is based on the trailer. You're taking back Ire.
That's where you start.
Oh, okay.
You start the campaign on Ire. And then I'm not gonna spoil it.
Don't
This
tell
stuff
me anything
happens.
else, but that is
Well, because in the beginning, currently, Ire is swarmed with Zerg.
Correct.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
when the
what I
Overmon
thought.
crashed and fucked everything up.
Right, yeah, okay.
And
I
they
just wanted to
also-
make sure I was caught up at least to that part.
Yeah.
Well, they also have a cinematic that you can watch near the beginning of the game called "The Story So Far," which actually covers StarCraft 1 to now
Actually,
in about 6 or
oh,
7 minutes.
That's neat.
We should watch that when we're done recording. I
We
want
can
to
do
see
that.
that.
Yeah, I
okay.
actually haven't watched it myself, but I've heard it was just a really good recap.
That's cool. I
Of everything.
like
Sounds
that.
really. We should watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Legacy of the Void, 2 thumbs up. And as long as we're on it, I mean, this has been a big Blizzard week.
It
We had-
really,
we had
has.
BlizzCon a week and change ago.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff. So I guess I'll run through all that since I was there.
Yeah,
That's
go
right.
for
You
it.
were at BlizzCon.
Yeah, this is actually one of the most exciting ones I've been to product-wise because I think every project had something they were talking about, which was pretty neat. So StarCraft 2 obviously had Legacy of the Void coming out. The other thing about Legacy that is really neat, co-op missions.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they actually have a set of like 6 or 7 missions that are based off of, I think most of them are based off of various single-player missions from all the games. And then you get to choose, essentially there's 6 commanders, there's 2 for each race. And each of them has like a unique set of units you can use. So like Rainer's only infantry, Swan is only vehicles for the Terran. And they each have a unique set of powers and a couple unique abilities, and you can actually level up and unlock new stuff as you play through them.
That's neat.
So like Zagara for the Zerg, her pop cap's 100 instead of 200, but all of her stuff is like super cheap. Drones spawn in 2s, everything spawns really fast. So her shtick is just like spawn everything and just throw it in waves, and it just throw it against the enemy as
That's
a wall.
cool. Oh,
So
man.
that's really, and it also lets you can play them co-op obviously.
Yeah.
So it's a cool like non-competitive
Really need
multiplayer,
to
which
go
is really
through and
neat.
Play. I didn't play much of the I didn't play any campaign of Heart of the Swarm.
Start with Wings of Did you do Wings of Liberty?
I did like half of it.
You should
Oh, man.
I got
play
stuck.
play through
Yeah.
Wings of Liberty, play through start from Wings and go
Yeah,
through all 3.
I will.
It's
I
so
should play
worth
through
it.
the whole
Oh
thing.
man,
Those campaigns are so
Heart
good.
of the Swarm is so good. Toward I was like, because I don't even like the Zerg. I hate bug races. They're gross and they're just all
Give you the heebie-jeebies.
They do, but but playing this, I was totally fine playing this particular Zerg campaign. It was great.
Yeah,
it
and
was
I think
so well done.
I think with the campaigns they do a really good job of taking the intricacies of the races and like you still get the soul of the race, but they take some of the intricate, minute gameplay you have to do and get rid of it.
Yeah.
and simplify it. So like another thing for the Protoss one is normally with warp gates you can change your gateways, which are like the barracks unit, into warp gates, which lets you spawn in units immediate. So essentially they charge up. Instead of taking time to build the unit, they charge up over like 20 seconds, and then you can just drop a unit in a power field. Normally, that they have you can spawn 1 unit, then it has to recharge. In the campaign, your warp gates all store up to 3 charges of units, so you don't have to be quite as on top of spawning everything.
Oh, that's nice.
So a lot of that micro gameplay you would have to do if you were playing multiplayer really well. They kind of ease it up for you on the single player to make it a little easier. I know they did that with Heart of the Swarm too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
To make Zerg a little less painful.
Ugh.
So co-op missions. So yeah, that was Void. Let's see what else. Overwatch announced 3 new heroes. 3 new heroes. They announced their ice hero. Oh man, what was her name? I forget. It was May. May, the ice chick. She's got like an ice gun and she can summon ice walls and cool shit like that.
Diva.
There was Diva, the pro gamer who runs around in her giant mech.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's awesome.
She is nuts online.
she looks pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to play
She's
her yet, but-
ridiculously hard to beat.
I believe it.
Because you have to blow up her mech, which has crazy health, and then you have to kill her. And if you don't kill her fast enough, she summons another goddamn mech.
Yeah. And she can like actually drop out of the mech and set it to self-destruct, which is a shitload of damage.
It does.
Jesus.
It does a huge amount of damage. But you can kill yourself with that. Speaking from experience.
Yeah,
and then they announced
I think the most exciting one was Genji, which is the cyborg ninja who's supposedly Hanzo's brother. He's got I think his main attack is he throws shuriken. They said they wanted to have his melee be his primary attack, but I guess melee is one of those weird things where like either it hits like a wet noodle and it sucks to play as, or it hits like a truck and it sucks to play against. So there's really no win when melee is your always on attack. Otherwise, it feels shitty for somebody. So his main attack is actually shuriken. He's a cyborg. So you can see he's got like these sort of feeder lines that'll just kind of roll down his arm and pop into his hand, and he throws 3 shuriken at a time. And then his ultimate is he gets this like super badass samurai sword, and then he just wrecks shit with that.
It's nuts.
That's awesome.
He's really his ult, in my opinion, is hard to control because it's very like. He like dash attacks, and you have to control the dashes, and you have to make sure you're facing the right way all the time. So if you don't have your mouse speed real high, it's kind of hard to control. But yeah, it's fun. It's good times.
His other thing too is he can block or ricochet bullets back. So essentially, like if a Widowmaker is sniping you, you can just like hit your parry button and it'll just shoot the bullet right back at her face.
Yeah,
and I think it hits whatever you're looking at, so it ricochets off at your crosshair. So what I heard some people talking about is like if you have a Bastion who's like the giant Gatling gun tank dude shooting at you, you can be facing like another one of his teammates, and so he's not taking his bullet, so he doesn't necessarily know they're being ricocheted, but he's just murdering one of his teammates via your blade deflect.
That's cool.
Which is super neat.
Awesome.
That
really
sounds
neat. Super cool.
I didn't know about that. That's awesome. I have to try that.
So Overwatch also announced they're releasing on PS4 and Xbox 360.
I saw that.
So that should be pretty neat.
Which brings me to a crossroads because I know a lot of people that play that on PC, but I know a lot of people that'll play it on PS4 too.
Yeah, I think I think PC is going to be the better route there, but I mean, it'll work on both.
I'm probably going to get it on PC because that's where I like to play my Blizzard games.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah. What else with Overwatch? So they announced they're actually going to be a flat price game. They're not doing free to play, which is super cool.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed about that, but that's because I'm cheap and poor. So
the reasoning behind that, which I totally get, what they have stressed a lot is that the game is about hero swapping. The game is like it is ingrained in that game's design that like you're not supposed to play a hero for an entire match.
Right.
The idea is that you see what the other team's doing, or like where you are on the map, and you want to swap, and oh, we need to be aggressive. I'm going to go play Tracer. Oh, we need a sniper. I'm going to play Widow. And with free to play, that's really hard because not everybody has all the heroes.
Right.
But if you want to swap, you just buy the box, you get everybody. Also, like in the long run, in my experience, free to play games tend to be more expensive than other ones. Because I mean, if you're going to buy all the heroes for $10 a pop, that's going to be like $250.
Yeah, see, I just go for the long play and just slowly but surely
Right.
earn everyone and be frustrated for a year, and then to finally have enough people to be happy.
I mean, I think, I could see the argument for both sides of that. I mean, I think for me, in the world that we are in of free to play games, I appreciate a studio that's just like, here's the game, it's $50-$60, just have it, play all of it. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that should be cool. What else? Diablo 3 announced their new gigantic patch 2.4. They added like some gold sinks, some gem sinks, new legendary items, new sets, new set dungeons. It's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of the same because that kind of puts a damper on how cool it actually is, but it's the same kind of awesome that's coming out of every Diablo patch, but very exciting as usual. I mean, it's going to be a new season, I think sometime in January.
I was going to say, is that announced time frame yet?
I think they said early next year is what they're shooting for.
So are they not going to do any more expansions? Is it all just basically patches, or do you think there will be another Diablo
They have not
expansion?
announced any more expansions. I don't know what they're doing after that. But 2.4 is different. I mean, a lot of the patches have been like minus a new campaign chapter. They've been so much content.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're trying to get a more regular pace for seasons going. I think they actually said at one of the panels there they like 3 months for seasons is what seems to work.
That's cool.
So I think they're going to try to be more regular about that, starting with this next one.
Neat.
What else? Diablo, StarCraft, Overwatch. Hearthstone announced their new expansion. Their new adventure. I'm sorry. League of Explorers, which came out the Thursday after BlizzCon, which was like 4 days afterwards. The commercial
for that was incredible.
It's so good. I love it.
They're some cheeky bastards over there. They're pretty funny. But yeah, so the first wing of that is already out. If you're listening to this on Thursday, the second wing came out today.
Ooh.
So go check that out. Their adventures have always been a lot of fun too. That's one of my favorite things about that game is the way they make single player card game really exciting with all sorts of fun new mechanics. Let's see what else came out of BlizzCon.
What's going on with Blackthorn?
They didn't have anything to talk about there.
Oh God, man, when is it gonna? I mean, it's been years.
It has been years. Blackthorn
about
2, we've been waiting since '97
I
for
know, man.
Blackthorn 2.
And what's going on with Lost Vikings? I mean, come on.
I mean, the Lost Vikings are in Heroes of the Storm now as of a while ago, so that's cool.
Well, that's good. Also, there was a Lost Viking reference in Legacy
Overwatch.
Not Overwatch.
Oh, there is one in Overwatch.
There's an arcade machine called Lost Vikings 2.
In
In
Wings of Liberty.
Overwatch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In the
okay.
arcade.
Yeah.
There's in Wings of Liberty. You can
Yep.
play the Lost Viking, and you play
Like the
a
Viking,
little,
the starship.
It's like a bullet hell game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In one of the maps, the defending team starts in an arcade, and it's got a bunch of arcade games that you can blow to hell while you're waiting.
So they know people want it. Come on.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, they did make Lost Vikings too. It's for Super Nintendo.
I have no idea.
I believe you.
Yeah.
So what else? World of Warcraft talked a lot about Legion. Lots of systems changes for that.
Shut down. Anyway,
Well, I thought we were done with that. Lost Vikings 2, Super Nintendo. Cool story.
Sorry, it's the only
that-
thing I've had to say in like half an hour.
that's true.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
Almost
about
And
accurate.
then what else? Heroes of the Storm too. They had 3 new heroes they announced: Lunara the Dryad, Greymane the Worgen, and the most exciting one I think was Cho'Gall, the 2-headed ogre. I don't know if you read about this or
I
not.
have not.
Okay, so
I haven't played Heroes of the Storm in a while, actually.
so with the Lost Vikings, they introduced a hero that was 3 units controlled by 1 player. With Cho'Gall, they have announced it's a hero that is 1 unit controlled by 2 players.
Interesting.
So the way it works is when you go into Hero Select, if you are partied with someone, the 2 of you can choose Cho and Gall are actually 2 separate characters on the character select screen. So the way it works is Cho is the sort of warrior half of Cho'Gall. He controls the movement of the character. He's got some warrior melee abilities. The most interesting of which, his E is it's like Shadow Ball or something. He essentially rolls this ball of like shadow energy that kind of slowly rolls through stuff and deals damage to whatever it hits. So then Gall is the caster half, and Gall is attached to... So Gall can't actually move. He just moves wherever Cho goes. Kind of like an Abathur Possess, if you think about it like that. So he's a caster. Doesn't have a mana bar. All his abilities are cooldown based, so you can just kind of spam stuff. His Q is like a line attack that does some damage. His W is like a bouncy, blobby thingy that kind of... It's kind of like a Ziggs ult if you've played League of Legends, but it doesn't explode... It does damage but doesn't like explode, so it actually makes its full way through every time.
Right.
And then his E is actually whenever Cho throws that ball, Gall can hit E to detonate it. So it's kind of like a teamwork thing there. So the idea is that you're supposed to be communicating if you're playing with your partners.
I feel you and I are going to be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, which is why you can't actually even pick Cho'Gall if you're not partied with someone.
That's cool.
I want to play
And
that.
so the other really
sounds
unique
fun.
part of that is the way they're distributing it. Everybody who went to BlizzCon, when they release it, will be getting Cho'Gall added to their account. Other than that, he won't be available in the store for a while. But if you play, I think 2 games as Cho'Gall with someone who has it,
You get it?
you get it.
Me and you were doing it. There,
Yeah, we
that's
can make
That's
this
happening.
happen. So it's sort of like the whole I think Team Fort did a thing with like the hat that if you kill somebody who has it, you get it. I know Halo had like the dev team achievements. It's that kind of idea.
That's really
Where
nice.
it's they keep saying spread the Cho'Gall virus, so that
There's the thing
That I
with
think was
Destiny
pretty
like that,
clever.
too. If you beat the guys in the weekly dev
that's right.
match, you got a special emblem.
No, I thought it was a special shader. You get
Shader, that's what it
blacksmiths,
was.
right?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, no, that's happening. Me and you.
Yeah,
Here's
we can
the
do it.
storm.
That's
That's
super
when,
cool.
when does it hit your account?
I don't know, sometime this month I think.
Gotcha.
This or next month.
So-
So yeah, I played it on the floor and it was pretty neat. It's a good time.
Okay.
We were watching the
Grand finale or
the
grand finals
the grand
of
finals.
Hearthstone.
Oh shit, yeah, that was there too. All the esports.
The world finals of Hearthstone, and we watched StarCraft.
StarCraft. Now StarCraft was incredible.
The final StarCraft series was insane.
It was nuts, dude. That
Did
was,
you guys watch the whole series?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, we just watched 1 through 7.
That was a whole
Yeah,
series.
yeah, okay, just making sure that wasn't like.
Yeah, it was best of 7. So
It was
Yeah.
chaos.
it was nuts.
Dude,
I mean, you
were
had
you there?
you had I was there for a couple matches. I watched most of them from like another stage because the room was full, obviously.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like you had cannon rushes, you had 6 pools,
Yeah.
you had tempests. What the fuck?
Dude, that was. Oh man,
it was absurd.
The first match, he went ham on roaches
Yeah,
and had those go. Oh, that was awesome.
it was. Oh,
that
man.
last fight. Man, everybody's like, no, like this.
That last match was like 7 minutes in. It was like a rush, and it was like, oh man, this game's over. And then like 25 minutes later, SOS pulls it out. That was freaking insane.
Absolutely pure skill. That was insane.
But yeah.
Man,
it was
totally deserved that.
I was amazed that like the commentators were talking about how these guys like, because it's a best of 7 match. There's so many games that they're like actually playing mind games with each other within each match, like by cannon rushing one game, the other guy's like, oh shit, like aggression's on the table, maybe I have to be able to counter this. Like they were the mind games that were going on just from like, oh, he did this last match, maybe he's going to do this match. The thing that blew my mind was, I think I forget which game it was. There was one game where Life was like harassing with some Zerglings, and so he had his spawn point or his rally point for a new set of Zerglings at SOS's base where he was harassing.
Right.
And then the caster saw that and mentioned something about it. And then essentially what ended up happening was he had 2 Zerglings come in via rally point that like entered SOS's line of sight and immediately turned around because they didn't want him there. That decided the game because SOS saw that, knew he wasn't just harassing with 6 Zerglings, he was building more, and therefore was able to I was like, his rally point lost him the game. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Dude, that was insane. But then there was that one where I think it was the 6th match where he has that warp prism open up and all those zealots are warping him, and just suddenly Life's like, oh shit, and he blows that. It would have been like 2 seconds later.
Yep.
If those zealots had warped in, that'd have been it.
Yep.
And then he'd have won. But that nearly lost him the entire thing. That was insane.
Yeah. That whole series. If you enjoy StarCraft and you didn't watch the World Championship, like that final match, go back and do it. It was so good. And they went, it went to 7 matches. It was intense the entire way through.
It was one win, the other wins. One wins, the other wins.
Yeah,
it was just incredible.
Some of the wins were super, super one-sided, but then the other one would come back and just decimate. It was nuts.
It was absurd.
Dude, in the crowd, I saw people with like Psyblade things. Where did they get those? Do you have one?
They came in the bags. Yeah,
that's awesome. They look cool as shit. Do you have one?
I have one upstairs. Yeah, I'll get it after we're done.
All right, cool.
That's awesome. Man.
Yeah.
BlizzCon was awesome.
It
was a lot of fun.
The Hearthstone setup, the stage setup was gorgeous.
It's crazy. It's the second year they've had that. It is beautiful.
It's so cool.
It's a tavern. They built a tavern.
Made a little tavern you play.
And then I assume that the room that they're in is soundproof?
For Hearthstone?
Yeah.
No, that's in one of the halls.
No. I mean like the room that the 2 players is soundproof.
I believe so, yeah.
Because
they also have headphones on, but yeah.
Right, but like just I would think crowd reaction gives a lot of that away.
Yeah, I'm sure they sound, and like again, the headphones they're wearing are heavy duty too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they account for that
yeah.
in some way. Because, yeah, you'd be able to get a lot of information out of that.
Because, I mean, I'm also, like, was kind of confused because all they would have to do is, like, look out the glass to see what the crowd's reaction is to the other opponent playing.
I think that's sort of one of those, you know...
I wonder if that's like a do not like.
It's like honestly, werewolf. You just can't tell which.
Well, yeah, and they have cameras on them the entire time.
Well,
so
that is very true.
If they did that, people would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're able to get away with it in a crowd of 50,000 people or whatever. True.
But that was awesome too. The gameplay in that was ridiculous. Yeah, Orvie was on the edge of his seat the majority of.
He was
the
really
finals.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It was crazy. Man.
Challenge Stone was kind of cool too. I don't know if you guys caught that at all.
No, I didn't see that.
So Challenge Stone was like a Hearthstone variant format they did, which is more of like a for fun. It was like a show match exhibition kind of thing. The idea was a Hearthstone format that's more on deck building. Okay. So what they do is they come up with a set of rules essentially that you have to build decks around, and then the players have 30 minutes to build a deck build 3 decks using those rules, and then they do a single elimination tournament with that.
Right.
So this go around, I think the rule was you had to have 10 WoW raid bosses in your deck. So it ended up being like a lot of big creatures, which meant a lot of cards that. A lot of those cards that you wouldn't see every day got a lot of play, but also a lot of cards that do really well when those are in play. There's a priest card that you get a copy of a random minion in your opponent's deck on your side of the field.
Wolf.
Normally, that's what?
Yeah, I said wolf. If they're all huge minions.
Normally that's not that great because you might get like a 1-drop, but if like half their deck is 8, 9, 10 cost, it's really good. So that was kind of cool to see, just something different Hearthstone-wise. Yeah, I think that was most of BlizzCon. There was a lot of shit going on, but that was super cool.
Let's kick the ball back over to Mike TV. Hey, Mike, Nintendo Direct.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Nintendo Direct.
Oh,
It's just been a good couple of weeks for video games. Damn.
It actually has. I can talk about that since I'm probably the only one who watched it.
Yeah, you gave us updates, and that's why I didn't watch any
That
of it.
is
so.
true. I had Mike TV's live stream. I didn't have to watch it.
No, they had the first Nintendo Direct since Mr. Iwata died. So they actually had a nice little remembrance of him in the beginning. So that was really nice. But they basically went over a lot of the new stuff that's coming out through the Christmas season, and then stuff in 2016. They covered what do they have coming out? Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming out in December. They do Animal Crossing kind of board gamey thing is coming out.
Is it an actual board game, or is it a game that's like a board game?
It's a game. It's like Mario Party, but
cool.
with Animal Crossing, and there's a bunch of amiibos for it.
Of course.
One of the man, those things fucking sell like gangbusters. So I can't blame them. It really is.
So do you collect all of them, or do you just collect specific
just
ones?
the ones I want,
like Chibi Robo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Mewtwo the other day because Mewtwo's my favorite Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they they announced Twilight Princess
HD remix
for Wii U, and I totally already kind of plunked down the money for that because it comes with a badass amiibo of Wolf Link and Midna, and I just really, really like that one.
Are you telling me you pre-ordered
I
it?
pre-ordered.
Okay, I'm just checking.
You said
I'm
that
just checking.
all my rules go out the window.
I know.
But then the second half, it really came into good stuff for me because there was a lot of JRPG announcements. Like they went over Fire Emblem Fates, the new Fire Emblem game that's coming out next year. There's they're doing something weird with that where I can't say that I agree with it. It kind of seems like a money grab. It is a money grab. Where Fire Emblem Fates has basically a branching storyline, but if you want to see the branching storyline, you need to buy a second copy of the game. And then there's a third copy of the game where it's like mixing the two. So if you want it's like Pokemon. You have to
I was
buy
gonna
them
say
all.
that's Pokemon. That's exactly what Pokemon does.
It does. Though speaking of Pokemon, another really cool thing they're doing is that they are releasing the original Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow.
Now
on 3DS.
that was the one thing that I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, that's really cool. Except they're updating the trading and battling so you can do it over.
Are they updating
wireless.
the visuals, or is it going
that's
to be
neat.
old school?
Exactly old school.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm into that.
That's cool.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to play that original Pokemon now.
Yeah, no, I'll play it. With
yeah.
the original 151, I'll totally play it. I'll totally play it.
I hope they keep in Missing No.
That would be a reason for me to use a 3DS.
Yeah.
I swear this is the first time.
But other really cool stuff for me. Bravely Second. They said it's coming out next year. That's the sequel to Bravely Default, which was one of my favorite RPGs.
Oh yeah, you were talking
recent-
about that for a
recent
long
history.
time.
Oh, I love Bravely Default. The ending kind of falls apart, but the job classes are really solid. Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 8 are getting their 3DS release in the West, which, God, I love Dragon Quest so much. Dragon Quest is like, it's really interesting for me to think about Dragon Quest versus Final Fantasy because they started out very much like the same place. But like Dragon Quest is the control group where it's like, okay, we're just kind of keep the same like spirit of the games and update the systems a little bit as we go along, but still generally keep the same type of game. In Final Fantasy, like around 7, 8, and 9, and 10, we're just like,
We're going to do everything differently every game.
yeah. And honestly, like, I really haven't played one. I played 11. No, wait, 12. I played 12.
I played the shit out of Final Fantasy 11. I had an online account, and I played. That was my first MMO, and I played that game for like a year and a half, and it was great. As long as you had people to play with.
I was gonna say that was my biggest complaint.
You could not solo that
There's
game.
no soloing.
After like level 10, you could not solo that game in any way, shape, or form.
No way, it's impossible.
My brother played a ton. I never really gave it a shot. When I was in college at the time.
When you think about it,
I was playing Diablo. That's what I got into with that.
That makes sense because Final Fantasy is never a solo game.
Yeah,
you always play there's a party you're with, so it makes sense.
I spent hours sitting in public areas with the looking for group flagged, and I was just waiting for people.
Play with me.
And then you would get into a group, and then you would have to go do something. And because you didn't party with somebody for 5 hours, they would never ask you to play again.
Dude, that's like it's like the Napster of MMOs.
It was brutal. The grind in that game was real.
I could not do that. Yeah,
It was like you'd play for like 6 or 7 hours, and you were lucky if you got half a level.
Like at least with Diablo 2, like
Lucky.
I could solo it up until like hell, and
Yeah.
then I you had to party, but I would usually just give up at that point because just trying to find a party was just like pulling teeth for me.
Yeah.
So, but no, they Dragon Quest 7, Dragon Quest 8 for 3DS. Really excited about that. Star Fox. They gave I think it's a release date in April next year, and that's looking really good. Star Fox Zero.
Star Fox Zero looks like the first real, actual, true successor of Star Fox 64.
Yes, and
I
so
will
excited
play
about that.
the shit out of that game.
Same here. Oh,
I will
my God.
actually buy a Wii U game. I
Although-
will buy that game.
Oh God! In the trailer, they show they have like a bunch of different vehicles. They show like Peppy is like in the Landmaster tank, which now can kind of has like a flying mode too. You got your R-wing. You have like the little and the R-wing can kind of turn into like this little like chicken walker AT kind of looking thing for like infiltration.
That's gonna be cool.
ATST, excuse me. Yes. And then there's like
Let me
one
push my
that's-
glasses up a little harder.
I was wrong.
not really the ATST.
And then there's like a special like infiltration kind of like hovercraft vehicle that can like let a little robot down into areas that you can explore on the gamepad with. But they have Slippy doing these like high stress infiltration missions. I'm just like, not Slippy.
He can't
Slippy's the
handle that at
fucking
all.
worst. I am going to be saving his ass every fucking time.
That would be like us sending Huey into high pressure situations repeatedly
Yeah.
over
Or
and
I'd have to
over
lie.
and over.
It'd just be terrible. You don't do that. You play to your strengths, my friends.
Yeah. Let's see. They said the new Zelda's coming out in 2016, so hopefully they stick to that because I want to play that game.
That game,
And-
that one little bullshit trailer they showed.
Yeah.
Well, they
This is
keep
hooked the shit out of
they
me.
keep pushing it because they're like, no, this game is not good enough to be a Legend of Zelda game. We must continue.
I mean, that's what they do with them, though.
I thought
man.
it's gonna get punted to the next system.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
I
going to
don't
go
think
that
so.
far. Because I mean, the Wii U still has like 3 years left on its life cycle.
Maybe because they've been talking about the NX a lot, so people are kind of saying like it might only be 2 or 1 year. I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
it
Like,
might. Yeah, people are.
Nintendo got to be careful though, because if they start pumping hardware out too fast, they're going to go Sega.
Yeah.
They're going to go Sega.
How
How fast did Dreamcast come out after Saturn? Was it like 2 years?
Something like that.
Maybe 3.
No, wait, no. Saturn came out at the same time as PS1, so like
Yeah.
95.
Okay, no, PS1 came out in 96, I believe. 96 or 97.
PS1 came out the same year as Donkey Kong Country.
Was it 95?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
speaking of which, if anybody out there has a Sega Saturn copy of the imported version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night,
First print.
I'll take it.
Actually, I got a plan for you to kind of play that if you don't mind.
Is this
fucking
like
with
a
it.
12-step plan?
No,
Do
well,
I have to accept Dracula into my life?
I mean, that's sort of how all those.
Does he need
Castlevania
to bring a
games
jar
are,
of
right?
Wesson oil?
No, someone actually showed me how
Mankind
to.
ill needs a savior such as Dracula.
Someone actually showed me how to play burn copies on a Saturn.
ORLY.
Yes.
I don't mind fucking with my Saturn at all.
Okay.
Because I don't own one. But if I did,
I-
I'd fuck with it all day
Well, I
long.
do-
I was going to do it to my Saturn because it's like the stuff you can't find Saturn games.
That's yeah.
I know somebody that mods Wii's, like, or not Wii's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mods Saturns. Like they just
So-
know how to do it real quick.
So this is it's actually a slick little trick that was showed. So the Saturn has a little switch in there that you need to basically tape down or something, which it's what it uses it uses it to detect whether it's open or not. And if it's open, it won't play a game.
That's the same trick that the original PlayStation used.
Yeah.
The little
So-
pin in the back.
Yeah. So what you do with the Saturn, you just
I got a
gotta
fun story
burn
about
a
that when it's
copy of the game on a CD.
Right.
And so you put in a legit CD. Now, the copy protection on a Sega Saturn CD is on the outer ring.
Right.
So you pop in a legit CD, you let it basically read that, then you listen for the motor running back, and then you basically just like you put in your burned copy, and it's just like, well, this is legit. Let's start playing this game.
That is very similar to what you had to do with the first generation PlayStation 1. You would take a long pencil eraser. You'd pop an eraser out of a pencil. You'd put it back because the lid had like a pin on it that would depress a button when the thing was down, knew it could spin the laser up. Well, you would put the eraser on top of the button and then weight the lid down with the book. So the door was actually open, but it thought it was closed because the eraser was pushing it down. Anyway, you would put in a legit game. You would remember how PlayStation 1 had the music player?
Yeah.
You would load the music. You'd go into the music player. You'd load the music from the game. Hit pause so the disc stops spinning. Pop the game out. Put the burn or the import in. Reload the music. It would load the music, and then you exit music player, and it takes you through to the load screen of the game. Yeah. That's how me and my brother played a ton of imports way when I was younger.
So, but yeah.
The old eraser trick.
I might be able to
Cool.
work that out for you.
That'd be nice.
And then the last thing, speaking of PS1 and Final Fantasy stuff for the Nintendo Direct, is that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII is going to be the new character in Smash Brothers.
Everybody's shitting themselves.
I have been trolling everyone.
There
who's
has
excited
been.
about it.
There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
It's either people that are crazy hype, like, this is what that game deserves because it's the shit and everybody should love it. Or it's
Pretty
like
much.
people are like,
Or it's me.
there's infinitely better people in the Final Fantasy world to get this.
Yep.
And then the people that are one step past that were like, man, this should have been Titus. But a lot of people, I have seen a bunch of people that are like, well, be thankful that it wasn't Squall.
I mean, that's God. I mean, that's fair.
But Squall with a gunblade in Smash Brothers would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
God,
It's great that the
his,
two
his,
people
his
who
Super
irritate
Smash
you the
move
most.
would just be him moping in the middle of the screen, just like, oh,
Yeah.
It's
everything's
great that the two
bad.
people who irritate you the most.
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Who are those two people?
Are Mike TV
Okay.
and Justin
Oh, dear God.
are on totally opposite sides of the fence on this because Justin's losing his mind. He's super excited about Cloud, and you're just like, man.
Justin.
It's this guy we played Destiny with.
Okay.
Justin's a great guy.
Oh my
Okay.
And
god,
if you
man.
can, I'm just filling the room with sarcasm.
Yeah, I could tell.
He is the gamer that comes directly out of the How to Be a Gamer for Dummies book. That's my best way to describe him. If there was a complete idiot's guide on how to be a gamer, he just mastered the book.
Get some Doritos at Mountain Dew.
That is literally it.
Oh God.
To a T.
Wow.
We need to maximize our output of these, like with the new raid in Destiny. Let's go into that for a second. With the new raid in Destiny, he doesn't want to complete the hard mode raid because it's too hard and he feels like he's wasting too much time on it. So he wants to run the first couple sections of the raid with multiple characters instead of even trying to complete it. That makes me want to punch my future children in the face. I'm so angry.
Jesus
about it.
Christ, Ashley, what do you have to say about this?
Guard your womb.
Yeah.
Guard your womb.
That's where they be. That's,
Or is that some
I
sort
mean,
of
for a
weird
little
way to
while.
talk about Panama? You're going to punch your future children in the face.
God.
Anyway,
Yeah. No,
my
I
God.
like I can understand like what he's saying. It's
I
just
can't.
like, but at the same time, that's just it's not fun at all. So
Yeah.
are we at time?
We're getting close.
we're
I have
getting
one
close.
email that I want to go over.
Oh, okay.
I have a message from Mike TV.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we'll start with you, Huey.
Mike,
Okay. Yes.
my girlfriend Kaylee wants you to know that she was
Yes.
very close to sending you the Cold Miser, Heat Miser music video because she thought you were just absolutely crotchety.
I
about
have
everything.
no idea what that is.
You ever seen what is it? The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the fucking Cold Miser.
Really? You don't know the
Heat
Heat Miser?
You're just like the
Were
Heat
those
Miser.
those claymation things?
Yeah.
Those things are terrifying.
You're just like the Heat Miser, and I'm gonna have her send
You
you the video so you
need
can
to
see
get the fuck away from me. You go on and on about Halloween and the Nightmare Before Garbage or whatever that movie's called. And you're telling me about fucking claymation movies?
Man, I want to see The
terrifying.
Nightmare Before Garbage.
Jesus.
That would be a really weird movie.
Oh my god, this show's over. Anyway, we did get one email, and unfortunately, it's basically directed at Orvie, and he's not here. But I'm going to read it anyway.
Why not?
It's from Jeremy.
I'll be Orvie.
It's from Jeremy,
I'm so good at everything.
and it's and it's labeled Grudge Match.
Okay.
Orvie called him out
All right. Let's.
about the super coolant use in the Monster Rush.
I remember.
Or Monster Dash. He says, "Greetings, gents. Not going to lie, I worked pretty hard on Monster Dash without my precious super coolant, and the best I managed to get was 44, which I think Orvie got 45, right? And then, suddenly on one run, the stars aligned, and this shit happened. I'm convinced it was a total fluke, but I'm a little proud of it regardless." He sends a screenshot of his score. With no super coolant, he got an 89.
Holy
Questionably better.
All right.
89. So
Well, as Orvie, I think that's stupid, and I'm going to beat it.
I'm going to wait for Orvie's actual rebuttal next time he's on the show, which hopefully is next episode. He's working, and I'm kind of bummed that he's not here because I really wish he was here to see this. Jeremy also followed up with his Kung Fury score. We're going to continue the Kung Fury mobile gaming challenge for another week. We've been doing these things in 2-week spurts. I think being that Orvie's not here, we should just keep going with the 2-week spurts so everybody can get their scores in. We can give score updates now. I'm going to.
Sure.
Jeremy sent his in. The rest of the email says, I agree. Kung Fury may have been the best challenge yet. And I watched the movie Wednesday night, and it was beautifully stupid and hilarious. Cheers, Jeremy. His score right now in Kung Fury. And Jeremy, I know you're going to listen to this. Continue on, my friend, because your score, I have beaten your score. He has 77,530. I worked really hard on my score. His is good. 77,000 is pretty good.
Better than me.
That is roughly 10 times my score.
Jesus.
Wow, really?
I have.
played it like 3 times.
What's your high score right now, Mike?
41,360.
Boom, bitch, 43,380.
138.
Very
Damn.
nice. You're better than Hacker Man.
I am not better than KF, but I know that Orvie is.
Orvie has something like 260,000.
Orvie has close to double, or close to, or just above double my score.
Yeah, I actually played this one, so I feel like
It's good.
I have put a lot of pooping time into Kung Fury.
Can I
just
actually,
a ton of pooping
So
time.
this would not be a good game for the mobile gaming challenge, but I do want to plug something I've been
Sure.
playing.
Oh, yeah. And I also
recently.
want to plug something.
Deep Dungeons of Doom. I think it was originally like an Ouya game, and then they basically brought it.
Now, I know
for,
this
like,
game you've been
touchscreen.
talking about for Android. Is it
Yeah.
on iTunes
Yeah.
or the App Store?
Yeah, I think it's just like it costs full price there. On the Google Play Store, it's only 10 cents.
Oh. Well, I mean, what could it cost on Apple then?
$4.
What's it called again? Huh?
$4.
$4. Okay. Right.
Deep Dungeons of Doom.
Deep Dungeons of Doom.
So it is basically like a little hack and slash RPG where you pick one of 3 characters to explore a dungeon, and you just basically go down one room at a time, and you fight a monster there. And it's kind of tactical because basically you have just 2 buttons, block and attack, and you need to block and attack at the correct times, or else you're going to die really quickly. Yeah, I know, right?
That's crazy.
Revolutionary.
The
but
control
your-
scheme on this is breaking new ground.
But your stats reset each time you go into a new dungeon. There are passive buffs you can buy from like a skill tree that will basically give you like a permanent +1 to your agility, or permanent +1 to your attack. And then there are multiple it's like 7 or 8 dungeons you can go through, and then there's multiple endings because there's like a secret to find in each dungeon. And it's got these kind of neat 8-bit graphics, and it's really fun. There's equipment to find and weird little references to other video games. Like you can find a weapon called the Master Sword, and when you pick it up, it says you feel 7 years older.
Jesus.
So
That sounds pretty good.
yeah, it was really fun.
What
I just booted it up, and then the first thing it said was the world had fallen into darkness, and I couldn't not hear it in Panther voice.
opening line written by the frontman of the Proto-Men. All right. Huey, what do you got? You want to plug a game?
My friend Patrick.
You have a friend named Patrick?
I do. He made
this is Patrick.
He's Pat Trick.
Patrick.
First name Pat, last name Trick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
It's a great hooker name.
That's a great hooker name.
Oh man. He
You
made a
managed to get the
game
Pat Trick?
called Cloud Chasers.
How do you
Journey
spell
of
that
Hope.
first part?
Cloud.
Oh, no, I was worried.
With a CLOUD.
No, he went
Oh, I see.
Cloud Chaser.
I did. And it's actually PPPT, PPLT, PPPP, PPLT, PP.
That's very
I
confusing.
think it's Square Brace Fart Sound Square Brace.
Also good. Also works.
Oh, that does work.
That's going to be my new
really
band.
be your
That's,
parody of Explosion.
I was just going to say,
Dude,
damn.
I'm telling you right now,
Boom.
Explosion Sounder, I have had that album in my car on repeat for a week solid. Seriously, chat. I'm going to plug them real quick just in the middle because it was brought up.
You plug it in the middle
Sound,
of my plug?
I'm doing it. Explosion Sound, pick up their new album.
Do we have
It's
a
called-
plug section now?
It's called Killer Shapes.
We do now.
You need to get that album. It's on iTunes. It's on CD Baby. It's on Bandcamp. My God.
They're
it's called Killer Shapes. The band's called
so good.
Explosion Sound, and it's wrapped in square brackets. Jesus fucking Christ. Get this album. It's
I'm getting it right now.
it's like it's in my top 3 albums of 2015. Hands
Wow,
down.
it is so good that Adam interrupted Huey's plug, and Huey stopped plugging to go
Yeah,
download
Look,
this
I
album.
I chose with Ashley, why I chose and presented my decision to Ashley that she hopefully agrees to have one of these songs from Killer Shapes, the Explosion Sound album, Killer Shapes, in our wedding. That's how good this album is. It's so
Ceremony or reception?
the what is it? The Exit Procession song.
Okay.
It's going to be Lollipop Mountain,
Okay.
which is a great song.
Oh, it's so good.
All right. I do.
Dude,
I
this
haven't
is like
listened to the album
the
yet,
best
so.
idea for a band. It's like a band that makes video game music for games that don't exist.
that don't exist.
It's incredible. It's such a good idea.
I spoke to Chris Baines, who wrote most of the album. He worked very, very hard on this tonight, and I was like, would it be okay if I used this song at my wedding? And he was like, dude, I am absolutely flattered. I mean, he'll be there. He's one of my groomsmen, so it's going to be awesome. Actually, that whole band is going to be there.
What?
Yeah, the whole band will be there. They're not
Whoa.
playing the wedding.
Oh,
that's fine.
shit.
They all know.
a
I'll spend-
little MAGCast
That's a
exclusive
little
right there.
exclusive right there. If anybody from Explosion Sound listens to this, but
And
because
they
they
don't.
don't, you're
Why
all gonna
would
get
they?
you're all gonna get invites to my wedding. Well, Chris already knows because again he's in
But
it.
only if you send us an email at podcast@magfest.org.
That does not apply to the
Uh,
general
just-
public.
That does
That
not
is-
apply to the general public. Ashley would murder me. I would
Do
get
you want to throw an invite to the wedding into the Adam Chase VIP experience?
no.
No. I pitched it and they
had
shot
this-
it down. It was called the Adam Chase VIP Experience Wedding Edition, and Ashley put the kibosh on that. Unfortunately, I told them to think of the children, and she told me to go fuck myself. So
That's the Akvipe. The Akvipe the Adam Chase VIP Experience Wedding Edition. The Akvipe we. Anyway, Patrick,
oh yeah, Cloud Chasers, buy it.
is it on both platforms?
Sure.
It's a mobile game.
Yep.
Sure.
Great plug,
I
bro.
just downloaded this thing. Okay, now I can get back to my plug.
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
I did until you interrupted my fucking thing.
With incredible music.
It's true. Cloud Chasers, Journey of Hope. It won shit. It's really cool.
Right.
I'm going to read you about a story-driven survival game about immigration, cloud harvesters, gliders, and even scarce water. Join Francesco and Amelia in traveling across 5 deserts. What you do is you chase clouds to try and find water. You get the water, and then it gives you the ability to try and find. Basically, you're trying to find this like oasis location where you can kind of finish the game. But the idea you're going to fail. The game is like it's sort of like Limbo. Did you ever play Limbo? Like basically, you fail at Limbo to try and figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do. That's sort of the same way as this. You can customize gliders, get different stuff, see which one works for you. It's really cool. So, yeah, really good game. My friend Patrick, he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't know who I am, but that's okay. We're still
How is
friends.
he your
He's
friend and he
friends.
doesn't
Yeah.
talk to you?
I knew Patrick back when I was in this old house when I was a kid. And then he got into game development. I kept trying to talk to him, and now he's posting all this stuff about this game. I've played it. I'm like, this is actually an awesome game. So I figured I'd throw my friend Patrick.
So wait.
a
You
long
said
time
you've been
ago.
trying to talk to him. Has he responded?
Yeah,
Does
no,
he just ignore you?
He doesn't just ignore me. He talks to me.
hey, I'm a game dev now, motherfucker. You need to stand your ground.
He talks to me when I message him, but he doesn't know that I am plugging his game. He hasn't talked to me about it, but I saw it.
That's like the
All right,
most
so like I stand
pathetic
outside of his
friendship
window at
of all
night.
time.
I stand outside his window sometimes, and I try and get him to pay attention to me. He doesn't. But I figured I'd plug this game and this thing he doesn't listen to, and hope that
Maybe he'll
hope that he
message
hears
you
it.
for once.
maybe
This-
Patrick
And be like,
is listening.
excuse me, Huey, if you could stop mentioning anything I do on
This
your
is my
stupid
chance
podcast.
to make him my real friend.
If you're listening, Patrick, just email
Patrick!
me at podcast@magfest.org. Subject line: real friendship.
My God.
Wow,
Well,
what a note to end things on.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Actually, Ryan, our amazing technical producer, has just found "Lollipop Mountain," a song that will hopefully be featured in my wedding, assuming that Ashley goes with it. So fingers
Oh,
crossed.
I thought you were
on
going to
that
say
one.
doesn't leave you before then.
Yeah, actually, it's not like
pressure.
we're playing this in front of 4 fans.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like we're doing this on the second most successful podcast that I've ever been on. So.
I guess this is also the second one. No, third. Wow, this is.
Oh
really
yeah, it would be
trailing.
third for me too because bonus disc blows us
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
water.
Goddamn bonus.
No,
disc.
fourth for me because I was on something. I was on Chris Gallo's podcast, and now I feel really bad for not remembering
Who?
the name of it. Chris Gallo.
Oh,
talking
no.
about-
I think we can
Something-
safely
something
say
recursive.
this is the most successful podcast that's ever been recorded in my basement.
Ooh, there's
Oh,
that. There it
definitely.
is.
Sorry, in my undersea laboratory.
Mag
Yeah.
Classic. Mag Classic.
Oh,
There it
God.
is.
Mag Classic Cast Fest.
Magcast exclusive. This is the #1 podcast ever recorded in the Meyer household basement. There
That's
it
the truth.
is. But anyway, this is going to be when the show wraps here. You're going to hear "Lollipop Mountain" by Explosion Sound. Again, check it out. Killer Shapes. The album name is awesome.
So
My
good.
name is Big Adam.
I'm Ryan Meyer.
I'm here.
What? I'm Mike TV.
And message
That
me,
was-
Patrick, please.
Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, Patrick.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts, guests, and artists featured on the show. They are not necessarily the views or opinions of MAGFest itself. Any questions, comments, or complaints can be sent to podcast@magfest.org.